This one I've mentioned before, but I guess I've never gone into a whole lot of detail about it, is really, I haven't done it so much lately, but the main creative thing that I've always done is drawing. I've kind of gotten out of the habit of doing it. Video editing has become kind of my main thing lately. But yeah, drawing was always something that I've just always done. I've been drawing since I was a little kid. Yeah, I'm just drawing. It's just, I've always done that. Like I said, not so much lately. It's kind of tapered off. I just haven't really found a good way to utilize it, I guess. For a long time, in fact, I guess this is leading to number 3. I wanted to do a comic book. It was called Cyborcat, and yeah, that's where my YouTube name comes from. It's the one name I like to use on the internet that is pretty much never taken is Cyborcat, and yes, I know I spell it with an O intentionally. It's not like I don't know how to spell cyber. For a long time, I wanted to do my own comic book, and never quite panned out. I'd still like to do it someday, but it's so time-consuming. I just would have to, you know, put aside the game den and everything. I'm just not quite ready to do that right now. But this idea I had involves, let's see if I can explain the plot. It takes place in Earth's distant future. Humans are kind of, sort of out of the picture. They're, a lot of them, there was this catastrophe and altered the whole planet, and humans kind of saw it coming, and so they took off in spaceships. A few were left behind. But basically humans are more or less out of the picture as far as being that main species that sort of rules everything. And cats have kind of taken over, and they've evolved into more humanoid creatures, and they have metallic skin. And anyway, it's kind of a fantasy sci-fi thing. The style that it's drawn in is kind of inspired by X-Men, but there's a whole lot of it. I actually came up with the idea when I was a little kid, and it's just sort of evolved into something that turned out kind of interesting. And yeah, originally it was inspired by just about every show from the 80s I watched when I was a kid. Like, there's some very blatant Transformers and Voltron influence, and there's also, like, you know, He-Man, She-Ra, Thundercats, and, you know, there's a little of all of that in there, and plus, and I draw it in kind of an X-Men in the 90s style. I have this one drawing I started a while back. I'll probably never finish it at this rate, but this is 3 of the main characters done in kind of a way that's sort of, well, I guess I don't want to say parodies. It's not meant to be funny or anything, but it's basically drawing the three of the main characters. It's meant to look like that painting of the 3 Graces, and anyway, yeah, it's obviously unfinished. It's probably never going to be finished at this rate. The one that came, the character that's nearly finished is the one on the far right here. Her name is Laser Eyes. It's a nickname, but yeah, you can kind of see where I was going with it, though. I like to put a lot of work into inking. One of the things I liked about comic books in the 90s was when they were using flat colors, they put a lot more work into inking, but now that they, you know, everything is colored in computers, they just sort of outline things and that's it. They don't really put a lot of work into line weight and cross-hatching and all that stuff. And I like to kind of utilize the whole line weights and cross-hatching and all that stuff. I just think it's cool. Fact number 4, I guess, is that I like to write a little bit. I've never been a serious writer, and I don't think I could ever be good enough to be published, but I do like to write fan fiction sometimes, and I think I'm actually pretty good at it. I've got a project right here. It's a novelization of Silent Hill 4. If you can kind of see how long that is. It's actually... Of course, this thing doesn't want to cooperate. So yeah, I've been working on this for about 3 years, off and on. It's not like I did nothing but this for 3 years. That'd be kind of sad. But I'm working on this off and on for 3 years. It's actually all written in entire story. It's got beginning, middle, and end. I'm working on the rewrite right now, and that's going to take a while. I've actually been told, at least as fan fiction goes, it's actually pretty good. I was, of course, inspired by, Ryan M. Usher, who wrote the novelization of Silent Hill 2 that I referenced in my Game Den episode of Silent Hill 2. I'm writing this one in the same way. This is written in first person from Henry's perspective. The main reason I wrote it is not because I think Silent Hill 4 is fantastic, but because I think Silent Hill 4, certainly not the best game in the series, but it's not the worst either, and Silent Hill 4 had certain potential that was not quite realized. I think the game was rushed. There was a lot they could have done with the story that they didn't. So I just want to kind of, fix it by writing this little, this novelization. Follows the game really closely. I add a lot of little things. It is up on fanfiction.net, but like I said, it's not finished yet. I'm working on rewriting it. I guess if enough people bug me, I'll put a link in the description. But I'd rather not link to it until it's done and rewritten and completely finished, and it's not quite there yet. Like I said, I'm working on rewriting it. I guess that's it. I was thinking of reading an excerpt, but I don't think I will. I'm gonna chicken out and not read anything from it, so there. You all hate Silent Hill 4 anyway. The last fact I guess I can talk about is certainly not interesting. Every once in a while, because I mention my job once in a while, every once in a while someone asks me, so what kind of job do you have anyway? I promise, it is nothing interesting, okay? I always refer, like, anytime I sign up at a website, or, anytime I sign up at a forum or something, and there's that little thing like occupation, I put boring desk job, because that's exactly what it is. It's a boring desk job. It's an office job. What I actually do is I basically, I work for a cotton company, and I guess we distribute the cotton. And I work in the invoicing department, and I make invoices all day. And the workload has gotten pretty crazy. I guess we're selling a lot of freaking cotton. Yeah, the workload is just absolutely insane. We have been doing overtime since May of last year. There was one point for maybe a week or two where we had no overtime, but that was it, and we're back to doing overtime again. They're trying to work it out so that, how do I explain this? They're trying to change the way we do things around there so that hopefully we'll be able to get a lot more work done more quickly, and, other people will cooperate more so that we can get the work done more quickly, and hopefully, this overtime thing will end eventually. So yeah, that's my job. Aren't you glad that I talked about it? It's so fascinating. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess I'm supposed to tag 5 people. Whatever. I don't like to tag. I don't like to tag people. Look, if you're watching this, consider yourself tagged. If you want to make a video, great. If not, whatever. I guess that's about it. So, thanks for watching. I guess. Whatever.